They represent a new form of social rebellion. Hippies are very interesting to the young. They dress in bizarre and colorful ways. They wear their hair long. Their very name suggests that they are hip, on to something good.
Nicholas Craven has been a leading figure in what I like to call the drumless track era. What was once reserved for those with an acquired taste in MCs like Rock Marciano and Ka, Nicholas Craven has been able to push forward what was once a dying art in crate digging, sampling, and drumless loops. A student of the game, you can take it far back as elementary and say he was studying back then, but not what most kids were studying. Picture this, a 12-year-old punk rock kid dissecting Jimi Hendrix and rock bands like The Doors for hours in the little city of Gatineau, Quebec, meticulously dissecting each layer, each component, until it was stripped to its foundation. And at its core, that's what Craven's artistry is, foundational hip-hop. His infatuation with music would eventually turn into an obsession when he was introduced to Ghostface and Raekwon's music by a friend's older brother. Craven was more impressed with the sound of the golden era of boom-bap rap than the watered-down commercial rap he was accustomed to. This friend's older brother would also show Craven the ropes of producing records, and from that point on, Craven kept being a student of the game. He would go crate digging and dissect at least 5 records a day, from Lebanese folk music to classic Motown records. Craven's eclectic digging style at times mirrors the diverse surroundings that he's accustomed to living in Montreal, Quebec. His production style is subtle yet soulful, cold but comfortable, and he lays the perfect canvas for glorious thematic raps. An era where 808s and streaming platforms have taken over the mainstream, Craven has carved out his own lane and mastered the art of simplicity. He's pushed forward the current Renaissance era we're currently in, and a new business model that has independent artists thriving and artists on labels dying a slow death. In this video, I'm gonna break down 5 essential projects by Nicholas Craven that you need to bless your ears with. Let's get right to it. Alright, so the first project we're going to get into is with the first rapper to reach out to Craven, the lyrical swordsman that is the god Fahheim. They would produce a number of classic projects together. However, the Shot Clock King series is what stands out the most to me. On the first installment, the intro has Craven using a simple piano key loop as Fahheim declares his superior pen. Then what seems like out of nowhere, Earl Droog's heavy-set commanding voice takes over the track's light percussion. As Droog professes they treat his verses like Picasso paintings, and in a way, the Renaissance era has fans doing just that. A new business model has emerged in the midst of this dope shit. Independent artists are now building loyal cult followings, whether 5,000 or 50,000 fans, that are able to thrive off the subculture of physical music and treating it like art. From the god Fahheim to Earl Droog to Mac Homie and Ransom, independent artists have cut out the middleman and taken control of their own art. With artists like Mac Homie selling limited cassette, CD, and vinyl records at staggering prices like $300 and $400, the Renaissance era has been able to take advantage of both new and old technologies, forming profitable businesses and loyal fan bases. Buying the limited physical copies of these projects are seen as investments to many, the same way many see Jordans or collectible cards as an investment. Alright, now back to the music. Lost His Way is a gorgeously produced record, one that will evoke memories deep within your soul. As Earl Droog's raspy delivery skates over the harmonious sample loop, a violin plays in the backdrop as Earl Droog drops one of the hardest verses on the project. Earl Droog and Fahheim offer the best balance of 2 great MCs. Earl Droog has the raspiness of Nas and heavy-set tone of Raekwon, while Fahheim's delivery is almost confrontational, like a young Cormega in a sense. Craven's foundational approach to making beats furthermore accentuates the better qualities of the MCs who lace his tracks. Without a Question is a perfect example of this. Craven flips soul singer Billy Jones' Homely Girl in a subtle yet super effective manner that has Fahheim playing lyrical exercise. On Crypto, Craven turns the dreamy I Can Dream Can't I, original by Tim Euro, into a haunting symphonic masterpiece as Fahheim drops refreshing gems about life. Alright, now the second project on my essentials list is Director's Cut 1 and 2 by veteran spitter Ransom. Look, we can basically credit Craven for getting Ransom out of retirement. For those that don't know, Ransom used to rap on DJ Clue tapes alongside Fabulous, Joe Budden, and the late great Stack Bundles. And to keep it a buck with you, the last time I heard about Ransom, someone was getting smacked, and then he disappeared from rap.
Brother, and then when it's really a joke. Just go get that nigga. Just go get that nigga. Listen. Just go get him. Okay.
Nobody plays with Ransom. That's what you get when you disrespect man. It's a buffet thigh smack in the face, nigga.
But Ransom is back in proper form after getting put on by 38 Special on the new business model independent rappers are taking advantage of. But it wasn't just the business. Craven's ability to inspire MCs with his production style is what really stands out the most. The God Fahheim, Conway the Machine, Mark Homie, Euro Droog are just a few MCs who have used Craven's minimalistic style in production to paint evocative stories that give their work high replay value. For instance, on Director's Cut 1, Craven brings Ransom's braggadocious, murderous raps to life on the intro. Director's Cut is a sonic offering that is really a cinematic masterpiece. Pulp Fiction has Ransom being hyper-specific on his surrounding environment, filled with blood splatter and drug talk, which plays along Craven's hectic guitar loops, which soon switches to a piano backdrop, with Ransom changing to a more sentimental tone before Craven cuts to another symphonic loop. Look, Director's Cut 1 and 2 is a masterclass in clever wordplay, thematic raps, and top-tier sampling. Inception has Ransom spazzing, declaring he wants to be greater than the goats. Inglorious Bastards has a simple vocalized loop and subtle percussion that only accentuates the sincerity of Ransom's murderous threats. A Beautiful Mind depicts the struggle of a genius in the ghetto, as a dreadful sample accentuates what's already painful lyrics. Director's Cut is 14 tracks of pure thematic bliss. Nicholas Craven's advantage is that he does a lot with a little. His production is light but condensed, bringing out the unique qualities of an MC's voice. And there's no other MC he does this better than, and there's no MC he does this better with than Euro Droog. Euro Droog is a Ukrainian-born rapper who sonically and ironically sounds like a combination between Nas, Rakim, and MF Doom. What you're left with is one of the dopest voices we've heard in a long time that can rap with the best of them. What's dope about Craven is how his beats often have MCs getting more sentimental and reflective on their past struggles. In a way, Craven's beats are therapeutic to both the listener and the rapper. Like on 500, where Droog is most relatable, Craven is able to get the most out of an artist through simplicity. For instance, on Lost Love, Craven's melodic sample accentuates Euro Droog's narrative of losing real love. His first full-length producer project, titled Craven End, is a gorgeously produced masterpiece featuring the likes of Rock Marciano, Sheik Luch, The God Fahheim, Westside Gunn, Conway, Planet Asia, and Benny the Butcher. Wolfing Down has Rock Marciano, aka the Gangsta Max, spitting razor-sharp bars over Craven's cheery piano loop. Speaking of razors, the next song has Westside flaunting his extravagant lifestyle over Craven's soulful chops. Songs like Bandit really showcase how Craven brings the best out of every rapper he works with. You can really hear the pain in Conway's voice, courtesy of the bullet wounds on his face. Craven End 3 is another underground classic, in my humble opinion, featuring Euro Droog, Boldy James, and Stove God Cooks. The intro, which uses the same sample as J. Cole's Premeditated Murder, has Stove God spitting one of the dopest verses of the year. Look, Premeditated Murder was a classic joint off J. Cole's tape Friday Night Lights, but the genius in Craven is how we can stretch a sample to the point the percussion is subtle or non-existent. The same way Stove God professes his ability to make a brick stretch like the Plastic Man, Craven's minimalist approach goes a long way in bringing the best out of MC. Yizerman offers sonic elegance equipped with drug dealer raps that has Boldy looking like the Godfather, and my favorite song on this whole project is Anchor, featuring a hungry Navy Blue. Navy flows like Ali in his prime over a heavy-set production courtesy of Craven. Navy doesn't force himself upon Craven's eccentric production style. Instead, he opts for a freestyle-esque approach, which effortlessly flows like water over Craven's solidified signature loop sampling. Now, if there's one Craven project I would recommend, it would have to be the classic that is Fair Exchange No Robbery. From start to finish, this album has Boldy and Craven creating magic. Like on Scrabble, where Boldy's cool, calm, and collected flow over Craven's minimalist style, equipped with cowbells and a simple melodic loop, has Boldy putting his homicidal tendencies on Front Street. And Designer Drugs is some of Boldy's best writing over a vibrant saxophone cut. Power Nap is as haunting as it is calming, with Craven's hypnotic sample loop leaving you in a sonic bliss as Boldy makes his violent tendencies seem like nothing but another day in the office. Boldy and Craven are a perfect pairing, the same way that Havoc beats were the Prodigy or what Mad Lib beats were the MF Doom. Fair Exchange, in my opinion, is the magnum opus of Craven's artistry and stands the test of time the more I sit with it. From bringing Ransom out of retirement to ending up on Jay-Z's Best Songs of the Year list, and his work with the God Fahheim, Euro Droog, and Boldy James, Craven's obsession with the art of digging and sampling has revived what was once a dying element in hip-hop. I hope you enjoyed this video. I go by the name of Nugs, and this is that dope shit.
DB, and I love you all. Peace.
Thank you, Mr. Is this us?